Guys, this is George of Brighton Fan TV taking you through my thoughts on the match against Liverpool. Can we be too disappointed? What can I say? Starting with the lineup, I know people were disappointed that there was no Andone. I know people were disappointed there was no Knockaert. But I understand why we played Murray. I think we were looking for a lot more long balls over the top, dead ball incidents, and it didn't really come off. It didn't happen today. We didn't have a good percentage of corners or set pieces that we could really work off of. And they're really our speciality at the moment, especially looking to play against a team like Liverpool. And I understand why Knockaert was disappointed to be on the bench. He had a really good game against Bournemouth, and but I think Houghton wanted to use him as an impact sub. And we saw that towards the end of the game. Knockaert came on and he looked absolutely electric, bolting it down the wing. He was taking Robertson on and he frustrated Robertson. You could see that. I mean, Robertson was fuming by the end of the match. And it sort of, the tactic did go well. The game, on the other hand, the way it played out, it just wasn't our day, was it? I mean, the refereeing, I'm not going to be too critical of it because at the end of the day, it is what it is. But the 50-50 decisions just weren't going our way yesterday. It wasn't working out. The penalty, the key, I guess that's the key thing, isn't it? I sympathise with Gross under both circumstances. I mean, you had Gross sent here, Bong just off. Bong was sort of out of the action. So Gross has to make a decision. He either doesn't put a challenge in and he leaves it for Dunk, who's covering. If he leaves it for Dunk, there's the opportunity for Salah to cut inside, put it on his left foot and curl it top corner. If he puts in a challenge, he could give away a pen. And at the end of the day, Gross did. He put in the challenge and he gave away a pen. I mean, you could argue till the cows come home about what the permutations were. If he didn't, would Dunk have got to it? So I feel for him that he's damned if he does, damned if he doesn't. It's not. I don't think it's fair for us to use him as a scapegoat in that situation. It wasn't really. He'd got himself into a situation where there was no good outcome. He was done for, really. Other than that, we played well. We kept Liverpool shut out. I mean, that midfield, we had a really good midfield barrier, sort of breaking up their play. But then attacking, I know people are criticising the referee's decisions and that Kevin Friend cost us the game, but at the end of the day, we didn't have a shot on target. I mean, you can't win a game that we don't have a shot on target. It was that's hard to sell. That really is hard to sell, and we can't forget that. Again, we could argue whether that was our attacking options or whether that was Liverpool's defence. But I don't think we troubled them. There weren't many times that I thought, oh, we've really got an inroad here. Yes, we missed key chances. On the couple of times we could have been clinical. Lukaku was making the right runs. We were playing the right ball. The ball over the top, we were trying really hard. Offside decisions went against us. But even so, I can't be too upset that we lost to Liverpool. Losing 2-0 to Liverpool on aggregate across the season is not a bad result for us. As a club, when you think about how far we've come, last season we got smashed by Liverpool at home. And I think with the new additions, the way they've gelled into the team, we played some great football yesterday. So keeping Liverpool locked out for 45 minutes. Not a lot of teams have done that this season. And I think that's something we should be proud of, taking the positives out of the game. We're now looking at a run of games that are quite crucial. I wouldn't say we're in trouble. We're not in trouble at the moment, but I guess we've always got to be looking over our shoulder rather than looking forwards up the table. I think especially key, those games against Huddersfield and Burnley at home are going to be key to how our season goes. Man United away next. I mean, we could be optimistic, but we've got to be realistic about how that game's going to go. And I think a lot of that will be about game management. After the game against Liverpool, there were a lot of questions asked about Kevin Friend, about the decisions that he made, whether he favoured the top six. And I think that raises a question that it would be interesting to get other people's views on, whether the refereeing standard in Britain has gone down recently, especially in the Premier League, and that favouritism towards the top six sides that people discuss. Statistics would be particularly interesting on that. And I know people were upset. A lot of people were very upset about the refereeing decisions, particularly the 50-50 ones, the close offsides, the way that challenges were managed and advantages. And I think that's something, as a club, I'd appreciate thoughts from you. Feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments below. Please remember, every like and subscribe does help our channel out. You can find us also on Instagram. This has been George for Brighton Fan TV, and we'll see you next week.